Hello. Today I'm talking about Araumi of the Dead Tide and how I'd build a janky version of her. Araumi is a 1/4 merfolk wizard for 1, a blue and a black that says tap her and exile an amount of cards from your graveyard equal to the number of opponents you have. Target creature card in your graveyard gains Encore until end of turn, and the Encore cost is equal to its mana cost. Encore is a new ability where you exile a creature from your graveyard and you create a token of that creature for each opponent you have. The token gains haste and each one has to attack a different opponent this turn if able, and are then sacrificed at the beginning of the next end step, and you can only do this at sorcery speed. So obviously the first thing that came to mind with Araumi is just filling your graveyard with creatures that have powerful ETBs like Massacre Worm, Agent of Treachery, and Fleshbag Marauder. You know, just cards that have insane value when they hit the board, especially when 3 of them hit the board at the same time. And if you use cards like Teferi's Veil and Valdalian Illusionist, you can phase out the tokens before the start of the next end phase, and then you get to keep them permanently when they phase back in. But then I started thinking more about what creatures you want multiple of. If you were playing Araumi into 99 with a Sultai Commander, you could make 3 copies of Biovisionary, and then if you could somehow make a 4th copy with a copy effect or a copy creature like Quasi-Duplicate or Evil Twin, and then your 3 copies survive the forced attack they need to do, you could technically win the game at the start of your end step. There's just a lot of conditions that need to be met for that to work. A more straightforward choice is to make a deck focused on Shadowborn Apostle and demons, or rats like Relentless Rats and Rat Colony. You can have any amount of these cards in your deck, and they each come with their own perks. The Rat Tribal build will create 3 big tokens that will buff your team and themselves. By encoring 1 Relentless Rat, you get at worst 3 5/5 tokens, and at best 3 massive tokens that give a +3/+3 buff to the rest of your Relentless Rats, and a +3/+0 buff to your Rat Colonies. Pack Rat would also fit great in this build, as it would get buffed by the rats and also lets you discard cards to make more rat tokens, but also fill your graveyard for more Encore activations. And of course you'd want your typical tribal cards like Species Specialist, Obelisk of Erd, and Icon of Ancestry. Or if you want to be a bit more posh, you have Coat of Arms, Vanquisher's Banner, and Door of Destinies. But I think the real power build is in Shadowborn Apostle. You can pay 1 black and sack 6 apostles to tutor any demon in your deck to the board. So by tapping Araumi, paying 1 black and exiling 3 cards and an apostle from your graveyard, you get 3 apostle tokens, or halfway to a free demon. This is really powerful, and even the janky demons can be big threats if you get them out early enough. Herald of Anguish makes opponents discard at the end of your turn. Garuda can grab your creature from a graveyard and fills your graveyard for another Encore ability. And Nightmare Shepherd can replace your apostles with more apostles that you can sack to get more demons. Although you probably prefer those apostles going to the graveyard rather than exile. But regardless, these are just some of the cheap demons. There are plenty more for an increasing price, like Runescarred Demon, Doom Whisperer, and Razaketh. So that's what I thought about for Araumi, rats and demons. Are you going to build Araumi, and if so, how? What cards are you going to use that I missed? Let me know down below, and when you need some more jank, come back here, because I'm continually pumping out the jank.